Hi guys, this is going to be a pick a card reading for what is happening for the month of October. It's just going to be a general forecast of the month, just things that you can expect or just little things that may resonate for you throughout the month. So before we get started, I just want to say shout out to my sponsor, my friend here, Michelle's work. I really appreciate her candles and her bath bombs and her soaps. If any of you guys are actually interested in them, I highly recommend them. They smell good. She uses very little ingredients, and all of her ingredients are high quality. So if you guys are interested in any of her stuff, please check it out. Her Etsy shop is listed down below in the description box, as well as the timestamps. So go ahead and pick between 1 and 2. Got pile number 1 and pile number 2. All right, pile number 1. Those of you guys who chose this blue Buddha or this tarot deck, this is going to be your guys' reading. So what is happening for my pile number 1s for the month of October? Just give me 1 second to shuffle the cards. Okay, pile number 1. What is happening for you guys in the month of October? So, I'm already saying that the month of October is going to have its ups and downs. I'm definitely seeing that for a lot of you guys. The main focuses that I am seeing for my pile number 1 is going to be work-related, home-related, and even perhaps a little bit of a one-on-one connection with a partner if you have somebody. Some of you guys are single, but mostly I'm just getting that the general thing that you guys will be focusing on will be work and family. Especially health. I think some of you guys have dealt with a lot of health concerns or health issues. So for the month of October, really what I'm getting here, pile number 1, I feel like some of you guys are letting go of something that you thought, and it's kind of interesting because it feels like there is this acceptance to a situation that has ended, or an acceptance to something that I think was at one point or another a disappointment, or something that you felt just didn't get off the ground. There is some kind of, you're in the verge of releasing, I believe, a partner or somebody that didn't serve you, because we have the Lovers and then we have Leo, the Lover. Really what I'm getting though is, as well for some of you guys, is this could be you actually getting over a person. But another thing that I'm getting is some of you guys getting over the fear of a choice. So I get this feeling that pile number 1, a lot of you guys have been worrying about, what am I ever going to be happy? Am I ever going to get what I really want? And there has always just been this resistance to not having what you wanted. And I think that for the month of October, some of you guys are almost coming to the conclusion that you're like, if I get it, then it's mine. If I don't, then I just don't get it. And it's almost like you're coming to a resolution in a way, pile number 1, where you don't feel the need to constantly try and push so hard to get things that you want in your life. I get the sense that for this pile, some of you guys have had situations in your life that had require you to basically, you've had to learn to get over situations that you felt was hindering you. So there's always this battle, and you always felt like you had to constantly fight for the things you want, that you constantly had to go for the things that you think will fit you, that will be good for you. But you always seem to kind of struggle because you felt like you always had to persevere in some way. But there is going to be some point in the month of October where you're going to come to the realization that it's almost like you're you're taking a step forward. Maybe in the past you used to work hard for what you want, but now you're working smarter, not harder. But it's almost like you're in that phase of transitioning out of a cycle of that. So and this is kind of what I'm getting by career as well, because I feel like for a lot of you guys, the sixth house was in the reverse, and I feel like there has been a struggle with your diet or your well-being or something about your work ethic or your daily routines. There's something there that I feel like was hindering you, and it was a choice that you've made multiple times over and over and over again that led you guys to saying, maybe I should try it a different way this time. So it's almost like you guys are almost breaking a habit, and you guys are on the verge of actually starting to almost reevaluate, because for some of you guys, pile number one, maybe you think you wanted this situation, or you think you want this 10 of elixirs, these 10 of cups, but then you come to the realization that perhaps you only want like 5 out of the 10, right? Maybe you realize that 5 of the other ones that you wanted was maybe based on ego, or was based on limited perceptions or limited thinking. So there's something about changing what it is that you actually want. So really reevaluating what you want in your life, because maybe you had a set plan. Oh, I want my life to go in this direction. And I feel like for the month of October, there might be something that kind of puts a wrench in that plan, because there is something that you're not seeing clearly, and it has something to do with your actual passion. So you have an idea that you're like, oh, I want to go and do this, or I want to go and have this thing, but you might miss out on an opportunity that's actually better for you. But because you do not conceptualize what it is, because whatever this is, there's some kind of an illusionment with that 10 of elixirs. You might miss out on an opportunity that's better for you, but because you're thinking that it needs to look this way, but maybe perhaps it looks a different way. But it's like it's going to give you the same outcome, if not a better outcome. So it's kind of asking you for the month of October to really pay attention to what it is that you actually want, because maybe reevaluating belief systems is something that is going to kind of be happening this month, because you're going to be met with some kind of resistance or some kind of opposition that's going to make you guys have to take a step back and think about what you want, and then kind of go at it where you feel like would be the best for you. But in the process of you doing that, there is going to be a point in time which you're going to realize that some of the stuff that you wanted in that 10 of elixirs, it's not all that you want. Maybe there's some things that you thought you wanted, but maybe it was only based off what you have seen, but never realized that there are other possibilities, that there are other options out there that would be better for you and more suited for you. This could even be a career, or the way that you go about your career. Even with family, there's something here, pile number one, where for the month of October, you're really having to reevaluate what is a priority for you and what's not. Because I am getting this feeling, pile number one, that you guys are kind of almost at the brink of something new, or trying something new, and it's going to revolutionize your life. It's going to change the direction of your life and where you think you're going to go. And it's almost going to kind of surprise you along the way of how life can be much sweeter. So I feel like for some of you guys, you've had a rough patch and everything seemed to be a struggle, but now things are going to start shifting into a more harmonious or just a more easygoing direction, and you're not going to need to fight the current so much. Instead, you're going to just kind of allow it to take you where you need to go, but it's going to require you guys to have faith. And I'm the type of person, when I think of faith, I just think about religion, and I've had a lot of religious suppression growing up, so it was always hard for me. And I think at one point or another I did lose faith, but I lost faith in many sense. Faith is not just a religious belief. It's not just something that it's not just associated with religion, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I feel like when I think about faith now, I think about the faith in myself and the faith in God or the universe. And I feel like it's a very personal thing. It's not something that people can teach you. It's not something that people can tell you what you should and shouldn't believe in. Faith is something where you can't see it. You can't feel it. Sometimes you can't even feel it, but you have to just trust that you're going to be okay, or that it's going to work out in the way that you need it to. Even if you can't foresee the future, even if you don't know how it's going to pan itself out, it's almost like you have to kind of have that, like how the Fool is in tarot. He has a tremendous amount of faith. He has trust in himself, even though doubt is always around him, which is what the little dog symbolizes. He always still goes forward knowing that somehow or another he's going to make it to his end's journey. And so that's kind of what I'm getting the sense here, pile number 1, is it's almost like this time in this month, you're going to have a lot of trust issues. You're going to have a lot of things that's going to require you to blindly just leap into events or situations that may be uncomfortable for you. So there is a little bit out of this getting out of your comfort zone, really not, even if you don't know, just knowing that you're going to be okay, that things are going to work out. So there's a little bit of a trust here. There's a little bit of having to follow, we can't rely so much on our 5 senses. So it's almost like trying not to rely so much on the physical, and sometimes just taking that leap of faith, or just trusting that even though we're going and doing something that may seem scary to us, in the end, it's actually going to maybe pan out or benefit us in some way. But it's having to take that leap of faith. So we have to take risks in life. And I feel like for some of you guys, this is a risk that maybe you've thought about for a while. And at this point, you probably even have calculated it out enough to be able to minimize the risk. So it's almost like you just need to learn to trust yourself in your own judgment. And I feel like pile number 1, this is kind of what the month of October is leading you into. It's going to have its moments of things are going to catch you off guard, or you're going to hear bad news, or something's going to pop up in your life, and it's there to kind of almost say, okay, are you going to run away and continue doing the same thing and act like nothing's happening, or are you going to face it head on? And I feel like there's going to be 1 or 2 circumstances that's going to require you to face your issues head on, because maybe even perhaps your reality around you is starting to impose upon you or enforce something on you. So maybe there's something here where you're for instance, I don't want to have to pick up an extra shift, but I have to in order to get extra money. And it's almost like you're kind of realizing, you're feeling like your reality is not reflecting how you're feeling internally, but there is some kind of external force that's kind of forcing you to almost conform, or almost push you back into a box, or it's like it's trying to test your boundaries. Where is your boundaries? And where is your faith and trust in yourself? How are you going to put that on yourself? How are you going to improve yourself? And that's kind of what I'm getting for the month of October, is you guys are really going to be getting tested on the commitment that you have to your goals, but also the commitment you have to yourself. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, work has been kind of a struggle for you. Or again, I am sensing health. We have something here at the bottom of the deck. We have health. So I feel like for some of you guys, your health is going to be improving. But I do get this feeling that for some of you, there have been lessons that you've had to learn. Like, I think that my pile number ones, we all have unhealthy habits, right? A lot of the times, we'll eat unhealthy things, or we'll eat really late at night, or we'll do little things that are really bad for our health. And those little habits over time compound into actual illness. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe perhaps you're starting to notice those patterns, or you're starting to notice that maybe the way that you are, like, you're not, like, your health has been maybe not so much the best. So even your work ethic and even the way you would work isn't doing good, because if you're not healthy, if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, if you're not doing the things that your body needs for nourishment, you're not going to be at your most optimal health. You're not going to be at your most energetic self. So you're not going to be able to get as nearly as much done. And I feel like maybe you guys have stressed about your daily routines, or you've stressed about not getting things done. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to be a little bit of a struggle for the month of October, but it's almost helping you balance yourself out so that you can start to develop better relationship with your body, and a better relationship even when it comes to how you work. Because I think that some of you guys maybe burn yourselves out a lot, or you overwork, or you overthink things to the point of your own detriment. So it's almost like for the month of October, it's going to kind of help you try and balance that out a little bit, so you're not so stressed and you're not so worked up. And that's really going to help you be able in the long run, especially for the upcoming year that's coming towards us. You're going to be able to be a lot healthier and a little more energetic. And it's because you're having to be forced to deal with and reevaluate things that have been holding you back for a really long time. And I believe that has a lot to do with a belief system about yourself, and something about how, there's almost this sense of, I need to overwork myself, or I need to overdo things to prove my worth, or to prove that I'm better, to prove that I am worthy. So there could be something in your house where growing up, maybe you were taught a work ethic, you were taught to work hard, do certain things, maybe you were disciplined in different ways, and this could have impacted, because I am getting, like, for the month of October, you guys are going through this phase where you might be reevaluating how your family life could be affecting your health and could be affecting your work. And it's almost like when you kind of can be able to come to terms with that, or be able to see the patterns in that, it's really going to help you move forward. It's going to really help you break out of these cycles and these chains that perhaps you've been so restricted on. And this is going to be something as well, as it's really asking you and calling you to get out of your comfort zone, to really change up your environment. Some of you guys might actually be moving, and others of you guys, for the month of October, what's going to help you get out of this weird funk is maybe moving furniture around, or moving things around your house, redecorating, decluttering, getting things like that out of the way, so that you actually can make room for new things to come in and have new improvement in your life. Because I feel like what you guys are doing is, there's almost feels like there's this stagnancy in your house. There's a stagnancy in your life that needs to be kind of rearranged or reevaluated. So I feel like that is another thing that's happening for the month of October. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to benefit you long term. You guys are going to be able to start to find different outlets or different support networks that is going to help you guys. So I do get this feeling that something may happen to you guys, but then maybe a friend of a friend helps you, or something bad ends up going wrong, and maybe you just happen to meet somebody that week that also just happens to know how to fix that. So there's almost like there's going to be little things that kind of come up, but it almost gets resolved just as quickly. So it's almost like it's like things will show up, but things are going to kind of work out in a very harmonious way. And it's because you're going to be reaping the rewards and the benefits of these little changes that you make over time. And it's like, again, something about this month for you guys, things are going to just start flowing a little easier for you. Some of you guys may be focusing on love. I also have here Cancer, Leo, and Sagittarius. We have Cancer twice. We have Virgo as well. We have Libra, Taurus. So Pisces. So what I'm getting here, pile number one is some of you guys are single. Some of you guys are looking into dating other people. You're looking into what you might like. I do get the sense that perhaps you guys are going to actually, you're going to find some people that might even pique your interest for the month of October. Now, I don't see that there's stagnancy in your life, but I also feel like, these are for like my singles. I don't feel that there is stagnancy necessarily. What I'm getting is there are a lot of people, pile number one, that could be interested in you, but perhaps do not show it or talk to you about it. So there's just like this sense of like, oh, nobody likes me. Nobody really cares about me. But there are people that are just intimidated or afraid to approach you in some way because they're afraid to get rejected. I'm also getting as well as you guys are kind of, this is what I think that you guys are in the process of as well, as maybe reevaluating the types of people that you date, because I feel like the type of people that you date, there's a pattern here when it comes to relationships and the type of people that you attract. And I feel like these are something that you're going to be noticing for the month of October is, maybe you used to date people that would be a little bit difficult to handle, or again, they always just kind of took from you. There was this kind of sense of these people would show red flags, but they almost validated you in a way because you wanted this validation so badly as a child. So it's like you almost attract the people that will wound you further because you are already wounded in that area. So it's like you guys are kind of relearning how to mother yourself, how to take care of yourself, how to not let certain people like that in your life anymore. That's another habit that I'm seeing that you guys are breaking. This is a cycle that's been going on for a while. I feel like for a lot of people, to be kind of honest with you, I feel like a lot of people are healing a lot of mother issues or mother wounds, because I just feel like it's really calling for that. And I just get this sense that for a lot of you guys, there is going to be something about the mother that comes up in the month of October that's either going to be like a grudge or something bad happened to your mom, or just even say your mom just like contacts you. There's something here about the mother where you're going to be healing and working through mother wound issues. And that's also going to really help nurture your soul and help nurture yourself enough to where you're going to be able to attract the love that you deserve. But I get this sense that you guys have been very hard on yourselves. You've worked very hard lately. And there's something here that's trying to come into your guys' life, but you need to make room for it. You need to allow it to appear. So another thing that's coming up as well is I do get this sense of creativity being sparked inside of you guys for the month of October. There's going to be an event or somebody's going to say or do something that's going to kind of almost trigger you into wanting to go back to a hobby or go back to something in your past that you used to enjoy. So some of you guys, maybe you used to draw a lot, or you used to write a lot, or maybe even play video games, right? Or go play sports, or whatever it is that you used to do that you had enjoyment in. I think that for the month of October, it's going to be a really good idea to start picking up on those again, or start just trying it again, because I feel like that's going to kind of help bring that inner child back. And I think that again, with that mother wound, it's like the mother wound and that inner child, it's going to be kind of healed for the month here of October, because you guys are going to be processing trauma or processing something that happened to you guys. Another thing too is I feel like for the month of October, a lot of you guys are going to be feeling this need to seek for higher knowledge or seek for a adventure, or there's something here that you want to go out and do. There's this kind of sense of wanting to find your own true independence, and I feel like that is going to be what you're going to be attracting into your life, is opportunities and resources that help you become more independent on your own, to where you don't feel like you need to rely on others so heavily. So you guys are really starting to stand your own ground. You're really starting to mature, but you're seeking some kind of knowledge, or you're seeking some kind of honesty or truth. And I feel like some of you guys, you're going to learn to be more tactful with your actions. And I do get this feeling that a lot of you guys are going to be taking more risks. You're not going to be as scared, because I do get the sense that maybe pile number one, you've played small in the past, or you've been kind of holding yourself back from actually going for something. And this is going to kind of help you break out of that cycle. So here again, we have around and around, and that's what I was really getting here with this. It's a huge cycle that has been happening for you. If you break down to 25, it comes down to a 7. So I feel like a lot of you guys, you're going to be seeking something. You're going to be understanding something about this cycle. And for everybody, the cycle is going to be a little different, but it's going to be impacting your life. When you learn to break whatever this habit, this cycle, this belief system is, it's going to actually illuminate a lot of things from your childhood and from your past. And I honestly feel like there is going to be happier times ahead of you, pile number 1. But at first, there is this struggle, there is this initial questioning and wondering, and it just feels like there has been stagnancy in your life for a really long time, and now you're starting to break out of that, and it's starting to become a little easier for you to actually deal with. And it's coming to the point where a lot of you guys are starting to realize yourself in a different way. That's going to be another thing, is I think that some of you guys maybe punished yourself, and that could have been a part of that habit or a part of that cycle, which could have also contributed to maybe health concerns or other issues. But this is going to be something that is going to help you break out of that cycle, and you're going to start finding things that you enjoy again. There is going to be enjoyment, especially towards the end of October. I'm going to see that you guys are going to start having a little bit more fun. You're going to be invited to places, or there's just going to be a little bit more activity, and you're going to be a little more playful towards the end of October. But at the beginning of October, you might start to see a little bit of stressors, a little bit of worry, a little bit of anxiety, and then things start to kind of pan out towards the end of the month. And that's really what I'm getting. And it's only because there is this part of you that needed to kind of, it's almost like you needed to kind of get shooken out of a state of mind or a state of belief so that you can reevaluate it, because there's something about your faith and your not trusting yourself. So we have here orphan. And what I'm getting here is some of you guys have really isolated yourselves, really put yourself in a hermit mode. Some of you have felt very alone on this journey for a really long time. And I get that for a lot of you guys, it's like the location that you're at or just where you are currently in your life, there just isn't that much of a support network. There is a part of you that feels like you would love to be able to find somebody that can relate to you in some way or another. And I'm just getting pile number 1 that there is somebody that's coming into your life, or that you're not going to be feeling so alone. And I think that for the month of October, you might even notice, like, you know, we might feel alone for a really, really long time. But I do get this feeling that you guys are in the process of slowly getting pulled out of that feeling. So for the month of October, you're going to feel isolated. But towards the end, it's almost like you're going to have 1 or 2 people that are going to try and pull you out of your shell or pull you out of this isolation. So normally when you're around people, you felt still very alone and isolated, but you're going to be around kindred souls or kindred people that are going to show you that you are lovable, that you are worthy of being seen, you are worthy of being heard. And it's almost like you're going to be around people that are going to respect your boundaries and respect yourself. So it's going to help you build that sense of community, that self-worth. And then we have here to the C, and we have 7 here again. So we have 5 here, which is change. And we have 7, which is higher knowledge. So there's something about a cycle that you are moving away from with that to the C, with that around and around, because, 2 and 5 make 7. I feel like a lot of you guys are on that verge of creating. And then if you think about it too, we have that 8. So there's so much progression going on here that I feel like a lot of you guys, you're going to start gaining that abundance, or you're going to start gaining certain things. And for a lot of you guys, it's really just getting out of that mindset of feeling all alone and isolated, because you're moving to a better location. And even when you felt all alone, there was always somebody watching over you or taking care of you behind the scenes. There's always something there to show you that you were not entirely alone. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's almost like having to have that faith that you are going to, it's almost like maybe you're relocating, right? You're moving, or you're relocating, or you are metaphorically saying that you are moving forward. So there's something here about you guys having actual movement. And this movement is what's going to help you guys find your purpose and find the people that actually resonate with you and the people that don't make you feel bad for you being you, right? Because I think some of you guys could have been around in the past people that were not so loving or not so caring, and maybe you've had this journey of having to go about it alone, or feeling like you didn't really have anybody around you, or at least you didn't have anyone really cheering you on. So there's this part of you that's just, trugging along in life, and now you're going to finally find people that are going to at least alleviate that burden that you feel, or is going to help you move past a situation. So we have here doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So a lot of you guys are going to have uncertainty again for the month of October, and it's almost like it's teaching you to have that faith, to have that trust. So you're having to work on that self-doubt. And like anytime doubt comes up, you just have to take in that deep breath and remind yourself that even though you don't know what's going to happen, that doesn't always mean it's negative. That doesn't always mean it's a bad thing, because our minds want to jump to the negativity because our brains want to make sure that we are prepared for anything that comes our way. And a lot of the times it's easier to think of negative things because it's easier to prep ourselves for that. But it's teaching yourself, it's like you almost have to say, no, positive things are coming in. Things are coming in. So anytime you feel doubt creeping into your life, try and do something that makes you happy so that it can shift that energy. So it's like maybe that's another thing too, is you always doubted yourself. So you always had to go to other people for advice, or you always had to have other people to lean on. And now it's like trust your own judgment call. Again, wisdom. There's something about you guys having a form of wisdom and understanding, and it's needing to know that you can trust yourself in that wisdom, that you have all that you need. So we also have here love, and then we have Venus, right? So it's like there is a understanding about loving yourself this month and others around you. And I think that's another thing, is you're drawing in love towards you, even if it doesn't feel that way, even if you cannot see that happening. Love is coming towards you. You are going to start to develop friendships, romantic partnerships, even certain family members or people that are going to come into your life that feel like family. So we have, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Exactly. So it's like having to break out of that negative thinking pattern. And it's normal for us to have that. Evolutionarily speaking, we needed to pay attention to the negative because we needed to pay attention to anything that's a threat to us for our own survival. But you're having to learn to break out of that fight or flight response, because what is happening for you guys is your nervous system, or like you are actually changing. You are evolving. But that doubt and that worry about there being a tiger around the corner because you can't see what's happening ahead of you. So it's like your mind starts to make up ideas or starts to tell stories of things that could go wrong. And it's like you're having to try and break that habit for the month of October, because things are not going to go in the way that you think they're going to go. They're going to go in a more positive way, but it's almost like you needing to train your brain to notice that, to acknowledge that, instead of because I mean, if you think about it, there's always good in a little bit, there's always positive and negative, and there's always negative and positive. So are you going to look at the positive, that's like all the positivity that's coming into your life? Are you going to look at that little tiny bit of negativity in that positivity? Or are you going to notice the whole picture, or are you just going to focus on the positive, right? Because no matter what, you can't separate positive and negative. So like there's always going to be a little bit of negativity and positivity. So it's like, it's okay that we have some doubt. It's okay that we have some fear, but it's like we need to go and have that courage to do it anyway. So there's always going to be that lingering doubt. There's always going to be some kind of negative thing that we could focus on. But really, what is being positive? What's being shown to you? So we have Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So some of you guys, another thing is comparison. I feel like you guys really compare yourselves to a lot of people. You compare yourself with where they're at and where you're at. So it's almost like in your mind, you're like, oh, I should have been here already. I should have done this already. But you're not seeing the benefits that you already have. You're not noticing the things that you're already developing. You guys are on a different path than someone else. And so you guys always kind of notice that about yourself, perhaps, that this is another cycle that keeps you guys trapped, that keeps you feeling stuck because you feel like you're behind. You just feel like you're very behind in life, that you're not where you want to be, but you're trying to rush a process that doesn't even need to be rushed. You're trying to meet an end goal that has no end. So it's almost like kind of realizing that we can laugh at our thoughts. We can laugh and not take things so seriously, because not every thought that crosses your mind is an accurate or a truthful thought. Not everything that crosses your mind or not every feeling you feel is accurate or is like viable. So we're having to kind of really think about and re-examine beliefs and thoughts and ideas, because these could be outdated. And I think that there's something about you guys really having a lot of self-doubt in your abilities, and you judge yourself on your work. You judge yourself on how you come off to people in work and family and friends. There's something about not wanting to let people down, and it's like having to work through those regrets, those insecurities, those worries. I think this pile has a tendency of worrying a lot, and it's like needing to learn to break that. We have here Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah, so anytime, I just get this feeling that you guys, you just feel this fear inside. And sometimes it's easier for you guys to not acknowledge it or to kind of distract yourself or look away from it. But it's almost like it's coming up now for you to resolve it in the month of October, so that you guys can actually not carry that into the new year, right? We're almost releasing things now. We're letting things go. We're changing things up before winter, or before it gets to the point where seasons start to shift and change. So a lot of you guys are in this process of releasing things that are not serving you anymore. And a lot of the fear that you guys have could just be misunderstandings, could just be a misperception of something. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that maybe you didn't get the full picture of the idea or of the situation or of the event. There's something here where I get the feeling of powerlessness with this Fear card, that maybe some of you guys have experienced this form of powerlessness, that you felt that you didn't have a choice, or that there was something in your life that kept you stuck. And again, there's going to be something in your life that's going to come up that's going to cause similar feelings inside of you. Whether this is going to be a total different situation, either way, you're going to start feeling like you did when you were in that age. So say, for instance, if you were 10 years old and maybe you had a parent that always made you do certain things that you hated to do, now all of a sudden there's going to be something else that you have to do that you don't want to do, but it's going to bring up that same feeling inside of you, that same rebellious feeling. And so what's happening is it's helping you work through that simultaneously. You're healing the past and you're healing the present moment, which is going to change your future outcome. So you guys right now are working through some kind of an issue, but what's happening is it's something from the past that is maybe a little bit, it's reappearing now, but in a different form, so that you can deal with it and heal it, so that you don't have to drag that into the next year or into the next month. So there's something here about this fear of really having to face it and acknowledge it. And I think that's why there is this sense of needing to seek higher knowledge or higher power in something, because there's something here that perhaps you're not seeing. There's some kind of judgment that you could have made that could have prevented you from moving past a certain fear. We also have here denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So again, these two could be a really big play on. There could have been some kind of judgment that you made in the past about something that maybe even helped you lose a sense of yourself or faith in humanity, or faith in yourself, or faith in your future even. There's this sense of some kind of judgment, something happened to you, and now you had this fear, and maybe you were in denial of this because it was painful or it was too scary for you to acknowledge. And denial, a lot of people don't like that word. I was talking to one girl, and when I talked to her, she brought up something, and I kind of said an insecurity of hers, and she was all like, I don't have that insecurity. And I said, well, I don't want to be rude, but I think you're in denial. She got really upset with me and said, that's kind of that's kind of an intense word, don't you think? And I was like, no, it's not, because denial is just the unawareness. When we deny something, it's like we suppress it. So it doesn't have to sound or be as harsh as it seems. It's just something that was maybe uncomfortable or really hard for us to process at one point or another, and it's just needing to be released. It's just stuck energy. It's just stuck emotions and unresolved feelings, and that's what denial is. It just kind of helps you forget the situation or gloss over it. When you deny something, it becomes something in the subconscious. You're no longer consciously aware of it. So you will say and do little actions that will prove that you have this issue, but you're in denial of feeling those feelings or experiencing that issue. You know what I mean? So it's like really having to take that time and say, what is it that perhaps I've been denying in myself? And it has a lot to do with what you're afraid of, pile number 1. So again, no shame, but there is definitely some kind of unresolved feelings. And I think that's why we have that around and around again. And honestly, you guys, once you can release this misunderstanding that you have, or once you can release this pain or this fear that you've experienced, it's going to make you feel lighter inside. It's going to make you feel so much better. It's going to just give you this new, youthful, expressive, playful energy. Because whatever this is, this could have stifled your creativity. This could stifle your play. This can stifle a lot about who you are. Because I feel like that pile number 1, whoever I'm picking up on, you guys are very creative. You're very inventive. There's something about you guys that stand out, but also you just seem to have this energy of really you have skills that you might not even be aware of that could even help you make money, or even help you get to another end goal that you might not be aware of. So it's like we need to get back into that ebb and flow. We need to get back into that playful energy. And for the month of October, it's going to be touch and go. But towards the end of the month, I feel like you guys are going to be a little bit more humorous. You're going to have more fun. You're going to be a little more playful. And that's going to help loosen up that creativity and really help you guys even come up with solutions to your problems. So you guys are really going to be moving things along in the month of October. A lot's going to be happening, but I do get the feeling that whatever is happening is for your betterment and is actually going to help you in the long run start to develop things that are going to be much more efficient for you. And again, there is this sense of not taking life so seriously. Even when we go through hard difficulties, we don't have to just focus on that and that alone, because that's only a small portion of life, right? There's so many different ways, and there's so many cool experiences that we can have. And I feel like it's just trying to keep yourself open to new opportunities instead of closing yourself off to an opportunity because you can't see that outcome working out. Just because you don't see it working out doesn't mean that it still can't. That doesn't mean go and go below your standards or compromise or hurt yourself again, but it means hold yourself in high respects. It means take risks that you feel like are going to give you joy, a lesson, something that you can have fun with, And right now, pile number 1 is the time to start to loosen up a bit, is what I'm trying to say. We need to step out of this serious negative energy, this overwork, this overwhelm that you feel. It's time that you start to wake up and just kind of enjoy life, especially because I feel like the more you enjoy your life, the easier the things are going to work out for you, the quicker things are going to flow for you and flow in for you. So I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Exactly. Instead of focusing on all this dense, heavy energy towards the end of the month, it's everything. You almost have to focus on the heaviness at the beginning of the month and processing it enough to where all of a sudden you're gonna get that trigger and you're gonna have fun again, and things are gonna start kind of. It's almost like there's gonna be a shift and things are gonna just start flowing a little easier for you. You're gonna start making connections with people, open up new opportunities. Things are gonna start flowing in and out. But there's also this kind of hidden reminder of not everything that glitters is gold. So just keep that in mind, that all that glitters, not everything that looks good is good for you. Not everything that appears to you is meant for you. So just to keep that in mind, because I just get this feeling that pile number 1, you guys are going to be met with a lot of new people, new opportunities, and it's almost like you have to just kind of keep yourself in that reminder that not everything is meant for you. But I do see that a lot of you guys, things are going to start moving in your life. There is this sense of stagnancy breaking up. You're going to start being able to let go of burdens that maybe you've been carrying for way too long. Things that aren't yours, that you needed to let go of in order for you to feel freer and to actually tap into your true creative force. So that's what I have for my pile number 1. I hope that this resonates and helps you guys in some way. Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. For those of you guys that chose this purple Buddha or this deck, this is going to be your guys' reading. So we're just going to see what is happening for you guys for the month of October. Just kind of like a forecast of the month. Anything that's going to come up. Any opportunities, basically. So I'm going to start shuffling the deck. All right, pile number 2. So already I'm getting that for you guys for the month of October, what is happening is you guys are setting yourself to go into the right direction of your purpose. So as I was shuffling outlook and opportunity, while I was shuffling it, it kind of like slid, but then landed like that. And then the other one did the same thing. So it's almost like maybe there's an outlook or a opportunity that's coming in that may kind of be like a curveball, catch you off guard, but it's going to be something that's going to be extremely beneficial for you guys. So I'm seeing here at this time, what I am getting for my pile number 2s is you guys are on the verge right now of really figuring out yourself. There is this, when I think about the eight of candles, or the 8 of staffs, I don't know why this is so hard for me, the wands, there is this sense of wanting, it's almost like you guys are going to gain some kind of insight really quickly. There's going to be something that just all of a sudden makes sense to you. I do get the feeling that whatever this was in your past, you're no longer looking at it. It's no longer a focal point for you anymore. I think at one point in time, pile number 2, you maybe used to fixate on a person or a event or a situation that could have just been really hard for you to grasp or to kind of even understand it. And it's almost like now you're going to just kind of say enough is enough. Like for some of you guys, this situation, so here we have the Strength card, right? If you think about this situation, it almost felt like this was a wound that you've had. Right, as you can see, like that axe in this guy's head, that's like you were pulling a huge weight and you were wounded in this process. But now you're realizing with that Strength card, what I'm getting is you're no longer fighting it. So you're not resisting it anymore. So that's what's bringing in this healing, and that's what's bringing in this new sense of ability, because you guys are going to be able to understand something. You're gaining some kind of higher insight, so you're going to move much faster and much quicker. I just feel that for a lot of you guys, at one point you were very defensive here with that 9 of Wands and the Nine of Candles, you are very defensive about something, but it's like you're gaining a faster insight now. It's almost like something just starts to make sense to you. And I just get the feeling too that you could have been around somebody who purposely tried to confuse you, or who purposefully tried to almost make you see things in a different way that wasn't true. So you could have had someone just really lie, deceive you, betray you, or there was just something in your life that maybe when this all ended up happening, you were just kind of left without any closure. You were kind of left with just guessing, just trying to figure out why something happened. But it's almost like you have almost resolved that somehow in your mind, and you're just not allowing it to take over anymore. I think for a lot of you guys, you're not putting your destiny in the hands of someone else. You saw this Queen of Wands as better than you, but you're realizing that even if, say, for instance, this person has more than you, or at least appears that way, they're really not serving you. They're really not giving you what you really need. And I feel like with you guys, you are the only one that can really handle your own situation and who you are. So it's almost like you're learning to not rely on somebody else. You're not waiting around for somebody else to save you, or you're not waiting around for this person's validation or approval. This could be an ex, this could be a family member, this could be anybody, but whoever this person is, you're no longer really seeking out their validation or attention, and that's also going to be just a huge improvement for your self-esteem, because I feel like whoever I'm talking to, there could have been somebody here that really knew a lot about you, or just, we all have met somebody like this in our life that just somehow knew all of our insecurities and could just play us in that way. And I think that could have happened to you guys, and it could have left you kind of devastated, and this person like just kind of left, and you felt like you were just abandoned and alone, and you just felt like this person didn't have your back. There was definitely this flighty energy. There was definitely something here where there was passion and then it was just gone. But you're dealing with somebody here who was kind of conniving, who maybe could have tricked you. And this really did, break your self-esteem a bit. This really did kind of impact how you viewed yourself, and even like relationships moving forward, because this really impacted your trust. This really impacted the foundation of your own self-belief, because it's almost like you believed this person, you trusted that this person was right for you, and it's almost like you're beating yourself up because you're like, man, I should have known this person wasn't right for me. There was all these red flags, and it's like you're beating yourself up over something that was a mistake, over something that you were just meant to learn from and move on from. You weren't meant to just constantly beat yourself up over it, and it's having to kind of get over that, and I feel like right, like with this card here, it says the never-ending story, and it really does feel like that. This feels like something that has been kind of eating at you for a long extended period of time, that you're finally releasing it. You're not letting that hold on to you anymore. And this is the time for a lot of people to shed their skin, to change masks, right? When we think about Halloween is so close to the spiritual realm, and the veil is so thin, right? And for some of you guys, when we put a mask on, it's to hide our faces from the ghosts, to hide our faces from the past. And for some of you guys, it's almost like you've been wearing this, you've been wearing this mask for such a long time that you're learning it's okay to switch it out. It's okay to change up your life, to change up your routine. It's okay. You're not this person that this individual painted you out to be. You're your own person. So it's like really learning what works for you and what doesn't. You're going to find your own fulfillment. You're going to find something that's going to make you happy, but it's out of you missing out on something that you thought you wanted or needed. There was something here where you kind of, it's almost like you turned your back against something because you thought this was going to make you happy. Because it's interesting that you had the sun and then you have the moon card. And I just feel like some of you guys, you just didn't see the positivity that came with this. Some of you guys, like I said, were definitely tricked or lied to. Somebody was definitely being deceitful and sneaky, and this really could have kept you in your mind state. This really did affect you at a fundamental level, and I think it's just because you really put a lot of faith and trust into somebody, and you really, even though you didn't know everything, you followed them blindly. You trusted them, and they betrayed you. And it's like and here's the thing. Throughout this whole situation, pile number 2, this could have been years ago, this could have been months ago, weeks ago, but this just feels like old residual energy. This feels like something where you are changing things up, finally, but as you're doing that, you're going to start seeing that it was almost for the best. Whatever this situation was, it would have been harder for you to get out of, would have been harder for you to process if you would have stuck around a lot longer. So this was almost nice because it's like it felt like you wasted your time. That's how you feel, like, oh, I wasted my time with this person or the situation. But if you really think about it though, you could have wasted longer time. So it's almost like you cutting your loss now not only like prevented further pain and emotional distress, but it also taught you a valuable lesson about the situation so that you won't repeat it again. And I just get this feeling too that this is also could have really stifled your creativity or your own drive in life. Some of you guys, maybe you suffered with depression after this because this felt like a real loss to you. This felt like something that was not easy for you to overcome. And again, there's definitely some kind of form of secrecy here that I'm feeling. But this is what's kind of leading you to a new direction. So for a lot of you guys, you could have like lost out on assets or lost out on possessions or finances because of this situation. But what I'm getting here is you guys are going to start building that back up again. There is this sense of need of security. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this person threatened your sense of security. This person could have been two-faced. They could have lied to you. They could have betrayed you in a lot of different ways. You could be dealing with a Gemini, a Virgo, a Cancer, a Sagittarius, a Taurus, an Aries. But I'm just kind of or you could have those in your chart, right? But I'm just kind of getting that whatever this is, you are going to start changing things up now. So for the month of October, even though you're processing that heavy feelings, it's going to really help you in the long run, and it's going to help you start to see your self-worth again. Some of you guys, as what I'm also getting is you're going to start changing up on your clothing or the way that you style yourself. You're going to start changing your little habits that make you happier over time instead of depleting you. So there is going to be a change up a little bit. And I just feel like some of you guys are going to start randomly getting money or like little amounts of money. So like, for instance, you'll be like at the store and all of a sudden you look down, you'll see $5 on the ground. It'll just be like little blessings or little things are going to just kind of appear to you. So it's almost just like, be aware of that. You might even also start to get gifts from people. There's definitely something here of just, you're going to start receiving little things this month. And that's going to really help you get through the hard emotional issue that you are feeling at the time. Because there is definitely some kind of depression or something that seems to be kind of heavy lingering over you. And so getting like little tiny blessings or just getting little things that come your way is just going to really help boost your energy. So just be grateful and have more gratitude for the little things that come in, because it's going to eventually build up to bigger assets. I'm also getting that you guys are reevaluating your values when it comes to people and places and situations. Some of you guys used to allow and tolerate a lot of BS, and you're not really allowing that to happen anymore in your life. I feel like for some of you guys, there is definitely this new understanding of yourself. It's almost like night and day for you. So you're going to start realizing that And this is another thing too, is that there is this sense of organization and getting your act together, because once you can let go of this person or let go of the situation, all of a sudden you're going to think clearer. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy to get up and do more things. So you're going to start noticing that you're going to want to go out more, or people are going to want to invite you out more. There is this sense of pulling yourself out of this discomfort that you felt for such a long time. And it's almost going to be uncomfortable getting out of the discomfort. You know, sometimes we're comfortable being in pain. We're comfortable staying in that stagnancy. And you're going to have people around you that's going to be pulling that out of you and asking you to hang out with them, asking you to socialize, to collaborate, to have fun with you, to go out and do things. And I feel like this is going to be something that is going to be really good for you. So it's like for the month of October, pile number 2, try to get out more, try to have more fun. Like just enjoy your time this month, because I feel like you are working through some heavy stuff from the past, but people around you, going out and changing your environment is really going to help you process it faster, and it's going to really help you be able to get over it a little easier, because you're going to be in a little bit more of a higher vibration. You're going to feel a lot happier. You're going to feel a lot better, and things are just going to make more sense to you over time. So we have here the outlook. So a lot of you guys, you're changing the way that you are viewing things, and I'm also getting, again, with that, changing your mask. It's like you guys are changing a role. You're changing your attitude. You guys are starting to change the way maybe you view your body even. And so another thing I'm also picking up is, because you're letting go of this heavy, dense energy, your aura is going to be a lot brighter. You're going to appear happier. People are going to look into your eyes and they're not going to see as much darkness or as much pain and sadness. So people are going to start noticing a little bit more of a twinkle in your eye. People are going to notice that you're a little bit happier. And it's like this stuff is going to really help you get over it faster as well. So opportunities are going to be coming in. So like I said, this outlook and these opportunities, I feel like kind of go hand to hand. It's going to be like a fast swish movement, and you're just going to kind of almost get swept off your feet. I feel like some of you guys are not going to see certain things going the way that it goes. So it's almost like you're not even going to be able to predict what's coming for you in the month of October, pile number 2, because for all of you, it's going to be different. Obviously, it's a general reading, but I just get the feeling that it's almost like you were struggling, right? So say you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills this month. And then all of a sudden, somebody just gives you money for no reason. Or all of a sudden you find money, or you get an idea and then you follow that idea. And the next thing you know, you got the money to pay the bills. It's almost like there's going to be something where it's almost a part of your purpose. Your purpose is to almost trusting yourself enough to go after certain things. And it's like you're starting to kind of get to the point where you're gonna realize that the universe has your back more than you think, that God has plans for you more than you realize. So for a lot of you guys, for the month of October, you might have a Cancer or somebody that could help you out. I'm getting that there's somebody here that is very thoughtful, very kind, very caring, and they can tell us you're going through a rough time. And I feel like this person is going to want to help you out in some way or spend more time with you. This person, I think, is also going through a lot too. So it's almost like you two are going to help each other out. There is something here of like a mutual understanding or a mutual feeling. I just get the sense that you're going to be around somebody or people that are just going to be a good support network for you, that's just going to kind of comfort you when you need it the most. And I just get this like complexity. There's something going on in your life right now that's complicated, that's hard. Maybe there's just a lot of things happening where you're changing environments, or you're getting overwhelmed with work and school, or, you know, there's something here that needs to be kind of balanced, or some stuff that needs to be kind of let go of your life. So there's this transitional period right now, pile number 2, where things seem to be kind of up in the air and you don't really know where they're going to fall or where they're going to land. So you're stressed out and you're worried, but it's almost like people around you have your back and you might not even realize it. There is definitely something here of, knowing that there is going to be blessings, right? We have Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet. It's all about expansion. It's all about being able to be lucky, taking chances. It's like there's going to be something here that's going to come up for you that is going to give you more optimism in your life, that's going to change some kind of outcome. So there's potential here. There's some kind of potential for you in the month of October that's going to help you guys get to where you want to go in the future. And I feel like for a lot of you guys with the bottom of the deck with that North Node, you're following your destiny, you're following your purpose. So we have purpose here and service. So there's something here about you're going to be of service to others, and others are going to be of service to you. There's going to be some kind of mutual understanding, and I just feel like you guys are going to have more blessings coming in than you even realize, especially here with that Treasure Island and then the Jupiter card. I feel like as well with that number 9, you guys are so close to ending a cycle that is going to just bring you so much more abundance into your life. So we have here round and around. Pile number 1 had this exact same card. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, what is going to be happening for you is maybe perhaps at one point in time, life just kind of felt like this stuck energy, especially when it comes to these recycled feelings. There is somebody here that you just recycled the same feelings over and over and over with, even if you didn't talk to them for a long time. There's just something that kept coming back up to be reevaluated, going back, coming back up again. It's like there was this sense of constantly struggling to stop thinking about somebody or stop fixating on a certain particular situation. There was definitely some kind of obsession, or there's just something that always just kept bothering you in the back of your mind that you just it's almost like you just lived with it for such a long time that you just became comfortable with it. And it's almost like you're going to be around people and situations that are going to bring you out of that comfortability. It's going to bring you out of constantly focusing on this never-ending story when it comes to you and another person. There's something here that you are finally releasing and you're finally letting go of. And I think that this has been like kind of just this long cycle, this long situation. There's always just been this kind of struggle, this resistance, and releasing it. And I feel like for a lot of you guys with that no place like home, some of you just never felt like you really had a home. You never really felt like you belonged anywhere. And there was also this sense of some of you guys are kind of realizing that you are home to yourself. And we also have the tribe here. And because I'm bringing up that you are going to be around people that are going to love you and support you and care about you, it's going to give you that sense of home. It's going to give you that sense of, I have family, I have a tribe, I have people around me that are supporting me, that are there for me, that are caring for me. And it's like you're changing. You're no longer holding on to certain outcomes with people. It's almost like you guys are going to feel this sense of stability. You're going to be feeling this sense of care and love that perhaps maybe you didn't feel as a child. So there's definitely something here, pile number 2, that is going to help you transition. So some of you guys, maybe you're getting rid of old friends or you're getting rid of old baggage so that you can develop new friends and have new experiences. So there's going to be something definitely here that I'm sensing that is going to really help you guys release a lot of this issues that you felt in the past, because there's definitely somebody in your past that really hurt you or really made you feel insignificant in some way. And then all of a sudden, as you're going about your life, you just kind of can't let go of that because it really did impact your self-worth and your self-esteem. But all of a sudden, you're going to find somebody around you that's going to say, what are you talking about? You're perfect. You're everything I've ever wanted. But maybe in the past, you had a person or a partner that was constantly telling you you're worthless. Why should I care about you? They never considered you. They never made you a priority. They lied to you, betrayed you. And then you're going to meet somebody now who could be loyal and faithful and caring and understanding. And it's almost like night and day. You're just not going to see it coming. It's almost like it throws you off guard. There is this part of you, though, that is a little bit skeptical. You're like, no, this is how it's always been. I've only been around people that treat me like I am trash or that I'm not what I am. But it's like this person that's coming in, or these people that are in your tribe, they almost like they see it too. They can see that you're telling yourself this story. They can see that you're not letting go of something, and they are going to be very loving and supportive, and I feel like they're not going to even be pushy about it. They're just going to accept that this is where you're at in the cycle of your healing, and I feel like this person is just going to be there to kind of uplift you and to support you and to give you give you what you need. And so it's like you're needing to learn to ask for that as well. Pile number 2, you're needing to learn to receive, but you're also needing to learn to ask for what you need. Because I feel like you're around people now, or you're going to be around people that are going to be much more caring and kinder and more willing to give. And maybe even reciprocate that vulnerability back, because maybe you used to deal with people where they wouldn't really open up to you. They were very closed off, but maybe you would try to open up to them so that they would do the same for you. And it's like, maybe you're just realizing that this story that you tell yourself, it's like, oh, all women are cheaters or all men are liars. You can't say all or nothing. It's like breaking that habit of that story that you're telling yourself, because there are so many different types of people out there that we can't fit them all into one category. We can't just demonize a whole sex or a whole race or a whole ethnicity and everything in between. We have to just accept, right? We have to accept that there are different varieties and different people. There are different ethics. There are different beliefs. There are different morals. And so it's almost like you're realizing that not everything is in black and white. Not everything that's in your life is bad. Certain circumstances that appear bad could have been blessings in disguise. Like, you're almost reevaluating maybe perhaps the way that you've seen your life up to this point, because I feel like maybe you had a more of a negative outview about your life and about the trauma or about the struggles that you have gone through, and instead of seeing it as a curse, you're starting to see the gift that these experiences have given you, which is a lot of wisdom, a lot of strength and resilience, which has shown you how to be more of a self-disciplined. You guys have had to learn self-discipline in this connection and in this situation. And in order for you to move past it as well. So this is something that has definitely been difficult for you guys, but you're learning to kind of process that and move past it. So this is a very beautiful situation, because I feel like some of you guys, you just have no idea the blessings that are coming in for you, the amount of people that you're going to have as a support network. Even if it's 1 or 2 people, it's going to be better than what you've had in the past. So it's like you're releasing people now that are not for your betterment, right? And I just feel like for a lot of you, this is going to build your self-worth up again, because you're going to be around people that are going to show you your worth. That's not just going to put you down all the time and tell you you're worthless and that you're not deserving of something. That is a complete false understatement. And I feel like this person really, they knew your insecurities. They knew a lot of things that would bug you, and they would purposefully do that. They would purposefully hurt you, because I think that this individual just had a lot of pain inside. I think this person needed this sense of control. So maybe you got stuck with somebody that was overly controlling or tried to manipulate you into believing in something that maybe wasn't true, or just guided you down the wrong path in some way. And it's like now you're coming to this realization about who you are, and you're really just starting to step into your own. And all of a sudden too, when you release this betrayal, or when you release this grudge that you've had, things are just going to really flow in so much easier for you, and things are going to make more sense to you. New opportunities are going to reveal itself. Things are going to go well. So because you've gone through this experience, it's really taught you a lot about discipline. It's really taught you a lot about who you are. So we have here discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So I feel like because of this situation, it almost had to teach you to be stronger. So it's almost like this person could have tried to break you, but it only made you stronger. It only made you a better, stronger individual. And because of that, now you have more discipline so that you can actually go after your goals. You can actually go after things that matter to you. So it's like you guys are starting to form habits every day that are better for you. And I feel like some of you guys, one of the things that you've had to learn is the people pleasing. When we are always people pleasing, sometimes we step out of our discipline, we step out of our integrity to help other people. And I feel like now you guys are going to be a little bit more stingy with your time, with your resources. And, the people that are going to come into your life, they're going to respect that. They're going to appreciate that. They're going to say, you know what, I understand you have your own life. Let me know if you can help me though, So you're going to be around people that are going to be much more understanding. And I think in the past you were dealing with people that if you would have set that boundary, they would have turned around and just treated you terribly and make it seem like it's your fault and why would you do that to me and play this victim role. And now it's like you're not dealing with that anymore. A lot of you guys have developed that self-discipline and cutting people out, cutting stuff out that doesn't serve you, letting go of things. And it's like, again, this discipline of having to heal. There was definitely some kind of an obsession that you had to heal over time, and this has really helped you guys get out of this mindset. And again, there's that story that you've been telling yourself, and I feel like you're going to be around somebody or people that are going to help you get out of that story. That's going to help you kind of see things differently. So we have here empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. See, this person knew you were empathetic. And I'm not getting that this individual was an evil person or anything, but I just felt like you were dealing with somebody that they could tell that you liked them maybe a little more than they liked you, or there was a situation where you put this person up on a pedestal and they saw that. There was something where this individual knew they could have taken advantage of you, and that really impacted you, that really hurt you, and that really was not good for you. It really was not something that you could just forget about, right? There's definitely something here of is really something here that you had to learn, right? Because there was this sense of maybe you knew this person was going through a hard time. You did have some kind of sympathy for this person. This individual knew that. They took advantage of that. And sometimes we just deal with people that are like that, that they see an opportunity and they take that opportunity. So it's like we have to realize not everybody has the same heart as us. Not everyone has the same morals or values. And I feel like you were dealing with somebody that had just different morals and a different set of values than you. And I don't think that you vetted them properly, or that there was something here where you just didn't see the red flags, or if you did, you ignored them. So it's like you're having to learn that, I think for some of you guys, it's okay to have sympathy. It's okay to understand that other people are going through issues, but to allow them to hurt you or to allow them to take advantage of you in any way because of that is something that you had to have learned, right? Because just because you feel sorry for somebody, just because somebody's gone through a hard time, doesn't mean that gives them the right to treat you poorly now. It doesn't give them the right to hurt you now. So it's almost like you had to really learn who you could allow in your life and who you can't. And it's okay to love somebody, but from afar. It's okay to understand that not everybody is right for you. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that, because it's almost like maybe you guys were afraid of leaving this person too. There was definitely some codependency that I felt that this connection gave. This sense of stuck energy, feeling like maybe you couldn't move on without them. There was something of you relying on them when they were not reliable or trustworthy. And it's like you're really starting to realize that, like I said, it's okay to love them. It's okay to have feelings for them. It's okay to basically try to help them. But it's almost like you have to learn to preserve yourself too. You have to learn to protect yourself too, and not to be used or taken advantage of. And I think that's been a cycle that's been difficult for you, but you have been working through and healing, and now you're able to move past it in a much easier way now. So we have here pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So for some of you guys, what I'm getting is this situation could have hurt your pride, but now you're gaining that back. And pride is not always a bad thing. We always treat it like it's just a really like, a negative thing, but it's good to be prideful sometimes of our work or of our accomplishments. It's good to have a sense of worthiness, have a sense of understanding. And I feel like for some of you guys, this person could have been very prideful, but in a more negative way, where they were clinging on to a false sense of pride, a false sense of self. But now you guys are going to start to develop a sense of pride, but I feel like it's going to be for the right reasons, right? Because pride does not have to be negative or positive. It's the way that we use pride. And I feel like you guys are going to come to that conclusion of like, I'm prideful of myself because I have resilience, I have strength. I'm proud of myself and prideful of myself because I dress well, or because I do this, because I do that. Like, you're learning things to appreciate yourself more, and you're not letting people's opinions and people's perspectives hold you back as much as you once did. So it's almost like being around this tribe or being around this certain person or people is really going to help you elevate to the next level. It's going to help you build that self-worth, that self-esteem, and build up a more higher sense of worthiness. And I feel like that's really going to help you really push yourself forward in your life. We also have here trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And it's like, I think you lost trust in yourself after this person, after this situation, because you felt like you were the one that made that decision. You were the one that let this person into your life. And now it's like you're beating yourself up because you felt like, oh, I should have known better. I should have known better. But you really shouldn't have, because that was something that was there to teach you a lesson. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay that things didn't go the way we thought. Maybe you did ignore your intuition. That's okay. What did you learn from that experience? Sometimes we just have to chalk it up to that. Sometimes we just have to say, okay, I should have listened to myself more. I knew that was a bad idea, but I did it anyway. How can I improve? So when the next time I feel that way, I don't go against my better judgment. So it's like you're learning that you need to trust yourself more. You need to trust the universe more. And it's almost like this month of October, you guys, things are going in such a way that it's guiding you to try and have more faith and trust in this situation. You might want to even go back to pile number 1, because it almost feels like a continuation in a way. It almost feels like this is like a story that's coming through, but I just get that a lot of you guys, you're trying to trust yourself more, and this outlook that you have in your life, it's changing. Things are changing. You're gaining more opportunities. You're gaining higher insight. You're going to be around people that are going to be a lot more trustworthy and a lot more loyal. So learn to trust that, because I get this sense too that there is a little bit of a paranoia, maybe a little paranoid because of how you've been hurt so many times. And I understand that because I get that way a lot too. But it's like having to learn to process that not everybody is out to get you, that not every situation is going to end poorly, that you don't always have to be tense and ready to fight. So it's like you're learning to let your guard down a little bit. You're learning to trust yourself a little more. And you're learning that you're not going to fall for the same mistakes. You're not going to bypass all of the red flags that somebody gave you. So again, there's something here about you're going to feel more like yourself. You're going to feel more at home, and you're going to be around people that are going to accept you and treat you like how you deserve to be treated. Because I do get the sense that a lot of you guys, you really have had a lot of people put you down for who you were, telling you that you were not good enough. I'm also getting a little too much. Like maybe sometimes people will say, oh, dial it back. You're a little too much. People tried to stifle your light. People tried to bring you down. And you're dealing with somebody, pile number 2, that had really low self-esteem. This person had a false sense of who they were because they were brought down a lot by their family and their peers. And I think that this individual, they unfortunately just, I think, couldn't handle that. And instead of dealing with it and internalizing it, they projected it onto you and made it your problem. And also just maybe it's really hard to explain. It's like this person could have wrote their own narrative, painted you out to be the bad guy, even though perhaps they did the things that they claimed of you to do. You know what I mean? It's like this person could have cheated and then claimed that you cheated, or that you were unfaithful, or they kept lying to you to the very end. So you never really got the full truth. So you were just dealing with somebody that they had a lot of issues. This person, gosh, you guys, I'm losing my voice. This person was not right for you. And I think this individual, they knew that too. They knew that you were better than them in a lot of ways. And I think it's just, again, based off this person's insecurities, they viewed things in a different way. And it's like, maybe you just didn't realize how jealous and envious they really were of you. And they wanted to bring you down to their level, to them, to make you feel more insecure, because maybe you did have a little bit more self-worth and a little bit more self-esteem than this person did. And so this individual, they wanted to kind of almost break you to build themselves up, which is really terrible to think. It's like this person tried to like piggyback off of you and make them look bigger, make them look taller, make them look more important, right? So you're just dealing with somebody who was in competition, somebody that had low self-esteem and this just this lack mentality, that there was just never enough to go around. So this person could have been just breadcrumbing you as well, because this person felt like they didn't have enough to offer you anyway, and maybe they didn't want you to realize or catch on to the little games that they played, because again, this person did feel insecure and insignificant. And when you put a lot of worth and value into them, it made them feel bigger and stronger about themselves. So they took advantage of that. That's really just what I'm getting here. So we have here indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. And again, I feel like you guys are afraid to make a decision because there is this sense of not having enough trust in yourself and in your intuition. And it's really calling for you, the month of October, pile number 2, to really reevaluate that and to really say, you know what, I can make decisions in life and I can decide where I'm going in my life. Because I think you guys are going to be met with some crossroads. You're going to be met with certain things in your life in the month of October that's going to give you a lot of opportunities. It's going to give you a lot of options and a lot of different things that you can explore. And it's almost asking you to really look at your life and really think about what you want, and then trust yourself, trust that intuition, and know that you're going to be able to be okay if you make that decision. There's something here about doubting yourself, that fear, that hesitation, for going after what you want. So we have here purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And then we have service. I feel good when I can help others. So everyone's purpose is an act of service in some capacity or another, right? It's how can we serve someone? How can we help someone? And I think that for a lot of you guys, this situation could have even been a catalyst for your purpose, for where you're going. Remember, we saw the North Node. This is destiny. This is you changing and evolving and growing. And I think that for a lot of you guys, you've had to learn patience along the way. I accept that everything happens in divine order. You know, discipline and patience go hand to hand, because we have to have this state of patience in order to be disciplined, because we understand that not everything happens overnight. You know, when you plant a seed, it takes weeks, months before we even start to see things sprout. So it's almost like you guys were in this germination mode for a while, where you were just slowly growing, and it's just felt like a struggle. You weren't seeing the daylight. There was just so much going on, so much darkness around you. You could have even felt very suffocated where you were. And all of a sudden, you're going to have that. It's like right when you want to give up, pile number 2, right when you're at that peak, that's when you're right about to break through the soil, and you're about to see the sunlight, and you're about to notice all the beauty and the wonders that the world has for you. So it's like, don't give up hope. You guys are right there on that verge. And I feel like it's going to help you find your purpose. So this entire situation is really guiding you down to meeting your tribe. I feel like you guys, this is going to be a very interesting month for you because there's going to be a touch and go of self-doubt, feeling like you're in your head a lot. You're going to be in your head a lot. You're questioning a lot of things. And then you're going to have somebody or some people in your life coming in and they're going to be like, okay, pile number 2, I get that this thing is still bothering you, but why don't we go out and have fun today? Or why don't we go out and do this? Or, hey, I have this idea, let's go do that. Or they're just going to be that like shoulder to cry on, that person that you can confide in, that individual that's going to want to be there for you. And I feel like you're just going to find somebody that is equally as sensitive to you, especially with that empath card. I feel like you're going to be around other empaths or other people that are going to be just as accepting as you. I think you're going to be around people that are going to want to give to you and not, you know what I mean? Because maybe in the past, pile number 2, you guys were always the giver and you're like a giver among receivers. And now you guys are going to be in the opposite direction almost. It's almost like you're going to be receiving and everyone else around you are going to be givers. So it's like just embrace that. There's definitely something here too where I feel like some of you guys, it's like if you're going to be of service to others, right, you have to accept rewards. And I think for some of you guys, maybe you wouldn't charge for your services. Maybe you wouldn't do certain things because you didn't see your worth, you didn't see your value, you didn't see the things that you could give to people. And now it's like you're going to find your purpose. You're finding things that comes more naturally and easier to you. You have gifts and abilities. And it's like, why not capitalize on that? Why not? And this is another thing too, is be aware of the mindset, pile number 2, that just because you have a gift or just because you have an ability that comes easy to you does not mean that you're not worthy of receiving money or receiving something back for that exchange, for that gift. Because sometimes people think, well, if it's too easy, then I shouldn't get paid money. I shouldn't get paid for this or shouldn't get paid for that because it wasn't a struggle for me. That's a mindset that you have to drop, that life is not always a struggle. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. And to make money and to find your purpose doesn't need to be a struggle. So it's really having to hone in on that for the month of October and really just, again, realize that you are starting to form networks and connections and tribes with people, and you guys are on that verge of gaining more treasure than you realize. So it's like really giving yourself that permission to expand, giving yourself the permission to make mistakes, allowing yourself to let go of past hurts, and allowing people in and trusting yourself a lot more. These are the things that I see coming for you in the month of October. You're going to have circumstances and situations that's going to put you in positions to where you're going to meet people, to where you're going to open up more to people, to where you're going to be a lot more of service to those around you as well as them to you. So that's what I have for my pile number 2s. I hope that this resonates and helps you guys in some way. Thank you so much. Have a great and wonderful day, pile number 2. Thank you. Bye.